Welcome to NEXTGames video covering October 2020's Intense Ambuscade Volume 1 against Trolls. In this video, I'll go over the key item acquisition for this month. I'll go over the battle strategy for both solo play on very easy, and party play on normal, difficult, and very difficult. And then we'll finish with an example of the fight on the easy difficulty. First, let's talk about the key item acquisition. It's very simple this month. You want to use the survival guide to teleport to Wojam Woodlands. And then there you can immediately get the one troll kill you need for either your daily key item or your more than once a day key item. The fight this month is against 3 trolls on the normal, easy, and very easy difficulties, 5 trolls on the difficult difficulty, and then they will add in a shadow dragon on the very difficult difficulty to add in just a bit more of a challenge. This month there is a dramatically different strategy that you need to use whether you are in solo play or in a party. So I'll be presenting a strategy that you should use on both very easy and easy difficulties if you're solo, and then giving you tips for how it is you can take this on party play on the normal, difficult, and very difficult difficulties this month. First, let's start with the trolls, the jobs they have, and then the different abilities that you're going to see them use, and then we'll talk about the 2 different strategies that you use to confront this fight. The main NM this month is the Bossetto Bruiser, which is a monk mob who has the ability to draw in all of your party members and has access to counter and 100 Fist. Now once engaged, he will immediately summon a Bossetto Sharpshooter, who is a ranger, and a Bossetto Justicar, which is a paladin. A few seconds after the fight starts, the mobs will also put up an aura that gives a potent regen and defense boost to all of the trolls in the run. It also gives the Bruiser access to additional abilities that are quite challenging to deal with, especially on the higher difficulties. The summoned trolls have access to all the usual troll attacks, which include Diamond Hide, which is a stone skin ability, Overthrow, which is a knockback ability, Potent Lunge, which is another knockback ability, Quake Stomp, which will boost the potency of the next attack, and these will use something called Quickening, which in every time I saw it used looked to be single target damage for 0, so I'm not quite sure what that does, but note these trolls do use an ability called Quickening. Now the Bruiser is going to use Haymaker, which is a conal damage, amnesia, knockback, and it's blocked by 1 shadow ability, Diamond Fist, which is a single target ability. Now, I never saw anything inflicted upon me, but they were also all blocked by shadows, so know that this may inflict an ability upon you if it does hit you, and it's not blocked by a shadow. Sledgehammer, which is a conal damage, knockback, and petrification ability, blocked by 2 to 3 shadows, and Head Snatch, which will reduce the hit points of the target it's used on to 10%. Next, let's talk about the aura abilities that the Bossetto Bruiser will have access to if the auras are up. The first is Super Speed, which appears to be a magic boost that allows them to absorb magic and skill chain damage, so definitely use caution here. As it cannot be dispelled, I make the choice just not to try and skill chain or magic burst at all. Now the most dangerous move in this entire run is Flare Death Ray. It's an AoE, damage, poison, potent paralyze, silence, blind, disease, and bind. Now to remove the aura, you need to use a physical weapon skill on the Sharpshooter and a magic weapon skill on the Justicar. This will remove the shields from them and in turn from the Bruiser. Note the auras will only be down for about 5 seconds, so you will need dedicated people on those mobs dropping the aura that appears around them when it appears. If the Sharpshooter and Justicar are killed, the aura can no longer be removed and you pretty much lose the run on the normal and higher difficulties. Speaking of the higher difficulties, on the difficult difficulty, an additional Sharpshooter and Justicar is spawned that also have auras that you will need to remove, making it even more of a challenge to keep those auras down. On the very difficult difficulty, a Shadow Dragon is also added to the mix that must be kept silent to avoid the use of songs while you take it out. So how do we deal with all of these situations? Well, as I said earlier, it's going to be different for both the solo situation and party setup. So let's first address the solo situation. This month, your options are basically very easy or easy, as normal has too much regen involved for you to actually be able to keep up and finish the fight in time. So, for those very easy and easy difficulties, I recommend just ignoring the whole aura thing, because frankly, they aren't down long enough to actually be of any benefit to you. So instead, just go straight at the Bruiser, and take him out as quickly as you can. If you're having challenges, go ahead and have a backup tank along with you to help share that hate load, and additionally, try and take out one of the two trolls that he summons, either the sharpshooter or the paladin. Please note that every time I tried to take out both of those on the very easy or easy difficulties, and then taking out the bruiser, that I found the bruiser to be much more of a challenge solo. I'm not sure if he gets some kind of buff when both of his troll compatriots are killed, but he definitely seemed to based on my test. Therefore, I always recommend leaving at least one of the two adds alive while you take out the bruiser. After the bruiser is killed, go ahead and finish off any of the other adds that you have not taken out yet. The only two risky times when using this strategy are when Flare Death Ray is used. You definitely want to immediately provoke, as it's going to reset hate, and then use the time as things are slow to try and enfeeble the bruiser and get your shadows back up. The other challenging time is when 100 Fist is used. Make sure you use all of your tools, including evasion gear and a Seekigen if you're having a problem with this part. Now in a party setup, you have to change strategies entirely, as the aura abilities are too devastating to absorb, and the auras give too much regen to do any meaningful damage to the bruiser. This means you will need to dedicate 1 to 2 people to using AoE physical and magical weapon skills on the 2 to 4 troll adds continually throughout the fight to keep the aura at bay. If done properly, the bruiser is easy to deal with quickly. Make sure to keep the Shadow Dragon silenced if on VD and finish off the adds after the main boss is killed. For trusts in this setup, we are going to use August as a backup tank and to help control hate between all 3 of the mobs, Joachim for March, Kuromoru for haste and Dia, and Monburo and Sylvie for cures, but you can just as easily use Kupipi, Yoran Oran, or some other white mages and they should work just fine. Okay, let's go ahead and get to a battle example of the fight. Enjoy the run on the easy difficulty, everyone. That's going to be it for the Intense Ambuscade for October 2020. Thanks for watching, everyone. Happy Halloween. Stay safe and stay healthy. We'll see you next month.